Today on the show, we're going to be looking at the development of the Animal Crossing series. Where did it come from? Where is it now? And where exactly is it going? Find out right here. So, Dobutsu no Mori. A small-time Nintendo 64 game that was released in April of 2001. It was originally developed for the 64DD, but after the 64DD kept being delayed, they decided to just release it as a Nintendo 64 cartridge instead. So obviously the 64DD allowed for games to be much more powerful, but now the game was only a Nintendo 64 game cartridge, a lot of features had to be cut. So they decided, so they could add back in the features, they would release the game as a port for the Nintendo GameCube. The port was titled Dobutsu no Mori Plus, or just Animal Forest Plus. It was released in December of 2001 in Japan, and would later be released in September of 2002 in North America, and would even later be released in Europe in 2004. So when they had to translate the game into English, a lot of changes had to happen. Most obviously the title was changed from Animal Forest to Animal Crossing. Also, due to the sheer amount of translation that had to happen in the game, there was more interaction made available with the villagers in the English version. Apparently, thousands of lines of text had to be changed before the game even looked like it was going to work. Also, a number of holidays had to be changed just so they kind of made sense in North America. And on top of that, a number of clothing items and furniture had to just be pulled from the game. Nintendo of Japan were really impressed with Animal Crossing. In fact, they admitted it was a far superior game than Dobutsu no Mori Plus. They liked it so much that they actually retranslated it into Japanese and re-released it as Animal Forest E+. Animal Crossing would go on to become the 7th best-selling GameCube game of all time, and will be rated the 5th best GameCube game of all time. Also, it would inspire the movie Animal Crossing Wild World, which never made it to the US. Moving on to Animal Crossing Wild World, or as it was announced, Animal Crossing DS at E3 2004. There were a number of changes made to this game compared to the original. For starters, there was a much bigger focus put on buying and selling items. Also, there was a huge focus put on becoming friends with villagers. They also added in Wi-Fi capability to make multiplayer a much smaller issue. Also, it was decided quite early on in development that there was going to be no region-specific holidays, which meant the holidays based off of Christmas and Halloween and the Japanese Cherry Blossom Festival were just pulled from the game totally. The game had a pretty smooth release, with the game being released in Japan in November 2005 and North America in December of 2005, but European players would have to wait until March 2006 to start their own village. Wild World would do very well on the sales front and would sell 11.6 million copies worldwide. It would also be praised for its use of Wi-Fi capability. It was said that it set the standard for online social gaming for the generation. A big issue people had was that European and North American players could not connect to Japanese players. Also, the fact that there was next to no holidays in this game was heavily criticized. It's super effective! Now on to Animal Crossing City Folk, or as it was called over here in Europe, Animal Crossing, Let's Go to the City. The game was announced at E3 2008, and it featured a number of changes compared to the previous two games, the biggest of which was that you could get on a bus and go to a nearby city. And if you had Wii Connect 24 turned on, you could see your friends' animals kind of walking about your city. The game also featured the return of local holidays. The game was released November 2008 for Japan and December 2008 for Europe and North America. The game was actually very similar to the previous two games, and its main criticism was that it didn't have enough new features to keep veteran players entertained. As of May 2009, the game sold 3.38 million copies worldwide. It also won the award for Best Simulation Game by IGN.
It's super effective!
Now on to Animal Crossing New Leaf. It was confirmed right from the start that this game would be in the 3DS family. It was first announced at E3 2010 and was also shown in a presentation in E3 of the following year. The game was released in November 2012 for Japan and June 2013 for Europe and North America. The game was developed by a number of people that developed Animal Crossing City Folk, but also featured a couple of new faces in the mix. It was decided right from early on that they wanted to give the player more creativity in changing their village's look, and after about a year of development and throwing around ideas, they decided to have your character be a mayor in their own village. So a bit of a fun fact is that the creators of the game were having a really hard time deciding which new species to add to the game. And then alpacas became really popular in Japan almost overnight, so they decided, you know what, alpacas are going into this game. A cool feature about this game is that each region that this game is in experiences a holiday slightly differently. Like in Japan, they eat buckwheat noodles on New Year, so you do that in Animal Crossing. Whereas in North America, you get to pop a champagne bottle open. This game received the best critique out of every Animal Crossing game so far, receiving a 39 out of 40. Its visuals were praised right across the board, and people are really excited to see what they do with the new technology that's available to Nintendo.
It's super effective!
Okay guys, that is it for today. Please leave a comment down below if you think I've missed anything about the development of the Animal Crossing games. Also, if you'd like to see more development videos, please let me know, because I'm really interested to do this series, but I want to know if you guys will actually like it. As always, remember to thumbs up this video and subscribe. My name is Faust, this has been Video Game Development Exploration, and it is super effective.